Hello and greetings to everyone. We are going to look at some real life problems that give rise to quadratic equations. Most often at times, students they used to wonder, where do quadratic equations come from and how applicable are quadratic equations, quadratic functions and quadratic expressions. Let's take down the heading, some real life problems that give rise to quadratic equations. Let's take this down. This is a problem that gives rise to a quadratic equation. Let's take it down. The length of a rectangular field, might be a football field, is 40 meters more than its width. It's 40 meters more than its width, and its surface area is 600 meters squared. So it goes, form an equation that can be solved to find the length and width of the field. Full stop. So this is a problem. I'll just write above problem. Okay, it goes, the length of a rectangular field is 40 meters more than its width, and its surface area is 600 meters squared. Form an equation that can be solved to find the length and the width of the field. We take solution. First thing, for us to answer the given problem, we need to start by drawing the rectangular field. We go for a rectangle. Two opposite sides are always equal and they are parallel. The four interior angles, each is equal to 90 degrees. Let's indicate the interior angles. 90, 90, 90, 90. Okay, from the question, from the given problem, we have been told that the length of a rectangular field is 40 meters greater than its width. 40 meters greater than its width. That means if you take the length of that field, you subtract 40 meters from it, you will get the width of the field. So let's let x meters to D, the length of the field. If x meters is the length of the field, then we're going to indicate it. This is x meters. Then the width of the field is x minus 40 meters as such. Then we have been told that the field is of area 600 meters squared. The total surface area of this field is 600 meters squared. That's what it means. Now, we are required to form an equation that can be solved to get the length and the width of this field. First, we know the area of the field. If you calculate the area of the field, let's start by writing the calculated area of the field. We know area of field, the calculated area of the field, bracket E, is given by the length times the width, which is simply equal to, the length is x meters times the width, which is x minus 40 meters. So this will simply give us x times x minus 40, all this in meters squared. Meters times meters gives us meters squared. And this will be equal to x times x gives us x squared, x times negative 40 gives us negative 40x. All this will be in meters squared. We know from the given question, we know that the area of the field is equal to 600 meters squared. 600 meters squared will be equal to x squared minus 40x meters squared, because the area of the field remains the same. So we are going to equate these two. When we equate the two, we are going to obtain x squared minus 40x meters squared is equal to 600 meters squared. We divide both sides by meters squared. X squared minus 40x meters squared. We divide by meters squared will be equal to 600 meters squared. We divide by meters squared. Meters squared will cancel. We are left with x squared minus 40x is equal to 600. Next, we are going to transfer 600 to the left hand side. This will give us x squared minus 40x minus 600 is equal to 0. Look at this equation, you will see that the unknown is x and the highest power of x is 2. This equation is referred to as a quadratic equation. Let's write it down. The equation x squared minus 40x minus 600 equal to 0, involving terms in x squared and x as well as a constant term. When we talk of the constant term, we are simply referring to the number negative 600. This is a constant. It is independent of the variable x. Is an example of a quadratic equation. Now let's solve this our quadratic equation so we can know the length and the width of that field. Solving x squared minus 40x minus 600 is equal to 0. In this case, we are going to make use of the quadratic formula. So if you compare ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0 with x squared minus 40x minus 600 equal to 0, you see that a will be 1, comma b will be negative 40, and c will be negative 600. We know the quadratic formula states that x will be equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. We're going to make use of the quadratic formula. So this will give us negative 40 plus or minus the square root of negative 40 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 600. We divide all this by 2 times e, which is 2 times 1. So this will simply be equal to, we know two negatives will give us positive, plus or minus negative 40 squared. This has negative 40 times negative 40, which is equal to the square root sign. This was 1600. Next, we take negative 4 times 1 gives negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 600 gives positive 2400. Then we divide all this by 2 times 1, which is 2. This will be equal to 40 plus or minus the square root of, we are going to add 1600 plus 2400, which gives us 4000. We divide by 2. Next step, we know this will give us 40 plus or minus the square root of, we are going to express 4000 as a product of two numbers, such that one of the numbers is a square number. We can make use of numbers 400 times 10. We divide by 2. This will be the same as 40 plus or minus bracket the square root of 400 times the square root of 10. We divide by 2. This will simply be equal to 40 plus or minus, we know the square root of 400 is 20. This will give us 20 times root 10. Then we divide by 2. This will simply be equal to 40 plus or minus 20 times root 10 gives us 20 root 10. We divide by 2. And this will simply be equal to, we can factor out 20 at the numerator. This will give us 20 times, we know 20 times 2 gives us 40 plus or minus 20 times root 10 gives us 20 root 10. Then we divide by 2. And this will simply be equal to, 2 will go here 1, 2 will go into 20 10 times. So this will give us 10 times 2 plus or minus root 10. It therefore means x will be equal to 10 times 2 plus root 10, or x will be equal to 10 times 2 minus root 10. Okay, now looking at the two solutions for x, you'll see that if we take 2 minus root 10, 2 is less than root 10. It simply means if you take 2, you transfer root 10 to the left hand side, it becomes negative root 10. 2 minus root 10 is less than 0. It therefore means if we take 10 times 2 minus root 10, the answer will be less than, we are multiplying both sides by a positive number, then so the inequality sign will remain unchanged. 10 times 0 remains 0. So this is less than 0. Remember, x is distance. We are measuring distance, and distance cannot be negative. Since distance cannot be negative, it therefore means we are going to take just the first solution, which is 10 times 2 plus root 10. We are going to discard the second value for x. We conclude therefore, our x meters will simply be equal to 10 times 2 plus root 10 meters. Now we can proceed to find the length of the field. So the length of the field will simply be equal to 10 times 2 plus root 10 meters. Remember, the length of the field, let the length of the field to be x meters. This is it. Next, we have to find the width. The width of the field will simply be equal to x minus 40 meters. So we are going to take 10 times 2 plus root 10 meters minus 40 meters. This will simply give us, we expand this will give us 10 times 2, which is 20 meters, plus 10 root 10 meters minus 40 meters. And this will simply be equal to 10 root 10. If you take 20 meters minus 40 meters, it gives us negative 20. All this will be meters. So the length of that field will be 10 times 2 plus root 10 meters, and the width of the field will be 10 root 10 minus 20 meters. Let's underline the answers. So you can see how quadratic equations come from real life problems. If in case you have any worries, you can ask your questions at the comment section. Please, if you like the video, share, and do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching.